So in today's webinar, we are going to be talking about how to keep your Facebook account safe, how to keep from getting banned. If you have gotten banned from Facebook, if you're currently disabled, feel free to go ahead and please type in the chat box that you are. And we can kind of hit on that too in a little bit towards the end on what kind of to do for that too. So we are going to go through a checklist. If you don't already have the checklist that Ralph created, we've got a Facebook ads account prevention checklist. Wait, Facebook ads account shutdown prevention checklist. Yeah, we don't want a Facebook ads account prevention. That would not be good.
That's a mouthful.
I
think we have
know
to
it is. There's like no way. There's like
turn it
no
into an
easy way to
acronym.
say it either, because it's like
Facebook. Can't we do an acronym like FBACAC or something like that?
yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, first person to type in the cool acronym for that. Some loving. Think of a good prize. Gets a shout out. So, but basically, yeah, we're gonna cover that. So, and we'll give you the checklist. If you don't already have it, we will upload the Dropbox into the chat here in a few minutes. But Ralph, we don't have slides. We're just gonna kind of go through this stuff because it's all important. We'll kind of go through the checklist, similar to what we did on the podcast, and just go a little bit more in depth and hit on questions and stuff too. So,
Okay.
Perfect. I think why don't we preface it by our conversation last week with Arjun and stuff?
Should we throw out our legal disclaimers? Do you have your attorney on the line here, Keith?
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
Is Richard standing in for your attorney?
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll
right.
let you say them, read them off though, because you're better at that.
We in no way guarantee the safety of your Facebook ads account, but we're really, no, in all seriousness, I mean, this is actually a really serious thing, but there's just so much confusion around this, so we decided we would create a checklist. Actually, I created it for our clients because I had a client who boosted a post that was just insanely against Facebook ad policy. So I told her, I said, never ever again post anything without telling me first. This is before we had Arjun and we had our relationship with Facebook. So I created it sort of out of that. So, but we've since updated it. But it's by no means inclusive. It by no means guarantees your ad account is going to stay safe forever and ever. What you do on your own, we really don't have a whole lot of control over that, but what we can do is we manage a lot of Facebook ads, millions of dollars of ad spend, and just what we see not only through the ads policy page, which you should have in your favorites if you're running Facebook ads. I should say that first and foremost, and it's actually in the checklist itself, provided they don't change the URL on us. That's certainly very, very important. I would start there. But the stuff that's in there, some of it really isn't in policy. So it's things that we've noticed and that we've started to do, and we've noticed that we've had success when we've done it. So by no means does it guarantee that your account will stay safe. But as a service to you guys inside Facebook Ads University, we feel that this is still an issue that needs to be addressed. So we created this. And it's based upon experience as well as what we get from Facebook, the policy itself, as well as advice that we get from our partner manager, who is a wealth of information. If there's one reason to stay in Facebook Ads University, it's just to get that kind of information, because we're one of 30 direct response agencies and providers that have this type of resource. So it's certainly worthwhile. So certainly help you out as much as we possibly can, but we just can't guarantee the safety of your account, because what you do on your terms is sort of up to you. So
Right.
I don't know if that's a good enough legal disclaimer there, Keith, but that's basically.
Yeah, I think that'll do justice. And also it's just Facebook. It just they make mistakes, and like he admitted us to that they're going to make a lot of mistakes because there's not that many employees looking over 2 million ad accounts. So they've got 20 to 30 people in ad policy that are responsible for 2 to 3 million Facebook ad accounts. So the sheer volume is really difficult. So we're going to do the best we can to help. And Facebook is definitely working very hard on improving that process. And I think you can see it recently. They're being much more responsive with support and stuff like that, but they're still not even close to where we all wish they could be, right? Like Google is so much better now. You can get a hold of somebody and stuff. So, um, anyway, so basically, let's kind of talk high level first. One thing that we did learn was that Arjun told us when we had lunch last week. We spent most of the lunch talking about policy, and then when we went back to digital marketer's office, we talked for another hour and a half more on like strategy stuff. But I asked him like, is it automated, like, or is it both? Like, do they have an automated system that bans accounts and then also people that look at it? And he said if somebody gets their account disabled, it has been manually disabled 100% of the time. So they do not have an automated system for that. They have automated triggers for red flags of campaign specifics. And then that will cause a manual review, and then that's when your account will get disabled. And if it is a specific gray area situation where it's very tough for them to figure out, they'll go looking through your site and they'll click into multiple pages. And which is another reason why you want to have, like, people say that you should have links back to your site, like a menu, because you don't want to get, it's totally against policy not to have, it's not against policy to not have a menu, but if they want to click through, they click through, but they can't. And then what do? Screw this guy. They're not even going to let me click back to his site. He's not a real business. He can't click back to his site. So I think a lot of the general rule of thumb for that reason is because of that specifically. They will click through and they'll go 3 or 4 pages deep if they have to. And they'll watch your videos, which I just found out about 5 minutes ago. My video ad that I'm running right now got disapproved because of the word, trademark for Facebook. Actually, I'm just going to tell the story right now because this is, it's actually pretty relevant. But I'm running a video ad, just started yesterday, and I was super excited because it's getting really good results. Getting started out with like dollar leads overall. It'll go up from there, but over time. But basically, after a half a day running, it got disapproved, and I'm like, crap. And I emailed him yesterday, and it was like at the end of the day. By the time he responded from my ad ID, and by the time I responded, he was already gone. But he said, here, I'll look at him. I'll pull up my email here, and tell you what he said. But this just proves you that they are watching. They're watching your videos. They're looking through your stuff. So, hey, Arjun, I just had a new campaign disapproved after running half the day. Great results too far, too, darn it. And I gave him the campaign, and then he wanted the ad account ID, so I gave him that. And then he emailed me back, escalated to ad policy, and then that was this morning. And then he just emailed me back. This is 26 minutes ago. The reason they disapproved your ad is because the book in the video does not capitalize Facebook. Because if you don't capitalize it, that's how Facebook's brand is. It's got the lowercase f, So it was like showing, it made it imply that we have a partnership with Facebook. So in my video, I've got the book that Entrepreneur Press designed the cover. It looks like the Facebook logo, and that's where, admittedly, this is very nitpickety. However, there's nothing I can do about it. So basically, I emailed him back and I said that sucks. So I'll just edit the video and I'll take that image of the book out. Not a huge deal, but it does kind of suck because that book helps with my campaigns. But the point is that video, it's like 30 seconds in or something like that. It's not like right at the beginning. It's not the pre-play image. So it's pretty interesting to see that. So they're definitely looking through your stuff. So And
Oh yeah.
I see we got Jenny on now too. Cool.
Yes. I've had the same thing except it was the Facebook logo.
Really?
Yeah, it was for dashboard website. So
Yep.
it had a bunch of logos like for Infusionsoft, Twitter, Facebook. So I had, and that was like 30, halfway through the video, and I had to edit out the Facebook logo. So they definitely, um,
Oh, I'm so bummed. This is like, because this book is like, it looks like a big textbook. It's like, it's such a bummer, but it's not that big a deal. I'll just edit it out. Like, yeah, cool, not cool, but anyways, we're gonna not gonna digress. So the point is they look through your stuff. So this also brings to a high level thing. Like a lot of people out there have been like, why is Betty Rocker? Why can she have before and afters on her landing pages, and none of her ads are getting disapproved, and I'm getting disapproved. I'm in fitness. Well, first of all, the whole before and after thing, we don't know. We don't think it's actually against policy to have it on a landing page, but the point is that Facebook, these guys are real people. Like they're looking at you. What does this brand represent? So her stuff, she's actually changed a ton of her ad copy. And this is why she can drive traffic on these sales pages, because she's took out all the negative ad copy and just focusing on the positive. And they look at holistically how your page is, from your ad to your landing page, go back to your homepage, your brand, and they can see that she is not all about skinny and fat loss and all that stuff, right? It's a positive um, communication, and that overall, I'm telling you right now, is a big deal. They are making judgment calls, okay? And if your stuff sounds hypey, even if and somebody else has something hypey once in a while, and most of the time they're not, then they're going to be okay. Um, and actually, that's like the first ad I've had disapproved. I've actually never had any ads disapproved except for ones where I've had Facebook in them, hardly. And it's probably why my accounts never had an issue, even though I'm in that same like how to make money and stuff, because most of my stuff has always been very the way I talk to people is I don't we don't but once in a while we'll have like results oriented copy, um, and but we're still okay. It's because they're looking at the whole thing. You know what I mean? So, that being said, do they make mistakes? Heck yes, guaranteed. There's so many cases where we've seen ad accounts shut down. Not actually so many cases. If you look back, I don't know, Ralph. We look back at any ad account that's been shut down of like new clients or even clients that we work with, but we looked at the landing page that they had. I mean, almost every single one, legitimate reasons, because it sounded a little bit too good to be true. You know what I mean? Even if the numbers were real and true.
Yeah, I also think that there is the definite ad to landing page, like the promise from the ad has to hold true on the landing page, like just basic
Yes.
stuff like that. Like, um, we've seen a lot of examples of this where they might say even the free download or get it free isn't necessarily a trigger word per se, but if it does cost you something like name in an email, oftentimes we've seen cases where ads have gotten disapproved for that, which is very, very inconsistent. So I think that might not be the best example, but if you're
Hmm.
saying one thing in your ad and you're doing something differently on a landing page where your message is really markedly different, first off, that's bad marketing just to begin with. But secondly, it's against policy because that's really a specific um, part of their terms of service is that you've got to follow through with the promise that you make in the ad. So if you're going to do something, then once they actually click, you have to deliver on that promise. And that message match is good marketing. Message from the ad to the landing page to ultimately the thing that you're going to get. So I think that's an important one. That doesn't necessarily even, you know, include claims or any of the sort of stuff that we're talking about in the case of like Betty Rocker or like the health niche or any of that sort of stuff, like the make money niche. You got to be really careful with that. Like I'm writing ads right now in the make money niche, and it's a challenge. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, because Facebook is going to eventually find out about it. They're going to do a manual review at some point, and if you've got overhyped claims, they will discover it, and your ads will get disapproved. I guarantee it. So, well, one of the things that Arjun told us is that he said, talk more about what you're going to deliver to them. Talk more about the product as opposed to the benefit, which is the exact opposite of good copywriting. You don't talk about, the feature. You talk about the benefit, what it gets them, and then even more so, the benefit behind the benefit. So, but, we've actually seen cases where we've toned back or toned down our ad copy and our conversions have increased because there is this certain element inside Facebook of, oh, I've seen that before, and the BS meter is extremely high in the Facebook newsfeed. So if you can differentiate yourself with claims that are realistic, but also tangible and specific, while not over-promising, and as vague as that sounds, that's a formula for success. Exactly where that is, it's going to really depend on every single lead magnet, offer, low-priced offer, core offer, whatever it is that you're offering on Facebook. So,
yeah, exactly.
Does that help clarify, or is that just confuse?
Well, I think maybe kind of repeat what you said about the features and benefits again, because what Ralph is saying is that benefit we want, if we're learning how to write good copy, right? We always want to focus on like exercises you will work on is like features over here, benefits over here, right? And what's the true benefit? Like they want to make more money, but why do they want to make more money? Because they want to have more time with their son or their daughter, right? And that's what we do. And we try to create copy related to those benefits. And we try to, the problem is when we do that with Facebook ads, sometimes they don't get our ads don't get approved, or our accounts get banned. So they actually would rather us focus more on the features, the product itself. But it doesn't mean you can't talk about the benefits. Just understand that. That's where they're coming from. And I think a lot of it is the positive negative. So they want a positive experience. So a lot of times you can be a little bit more benefit driven if it's positive, and as long as it's not a specific amount in a specific amount of time, right? That's when you get into trouble.
I think also rather than the benefit or what you're stating, it's when you're promising something for the user, it can become unbelievable. But when there is an ad that's saying, look, let me show you how I did this, then it's kind of like, okay, you can cross the line a little bit because you're showing something that happened, not telling them how they can do it, because most likely they won't be able to do it anyway. So.
Right. Now so that's like kind of a case study style positioning, because you're
Right.
not promising that they can do it, right? Which is exactly right, and it's true. However, if you're doing that too, you have to be careful. If the numbers are big,
Yeah,
then that
even
can
if they're real.
yeah, that can get thrown in kind of
Yeah,
because
totally.
they're reading them fast and they're like, you know what I mean? And a lot of times what you're saying actually is not a claim at all, but they just see the big number,
Yeah.
and then they just see like the one that Frank Kern was doing that's a perfect example, right, Ralph? Is
Yeah.
The $1 billion David Ogilvy thing.
Right. The $1 billion swipe file.
Swipe file. Yep.
Yep. That's the name of the swipe file. So, and that was his lead magnet.
And then the subtitle or subhead was, I forget what it was, something about, opt in to see the exact campaign that, generated $500 million or whatever it was. And it's true. I mean, it's like public record, you know what I mean? But these 21, 22-year-olds working at Facebook don't see that. They just see the word $1 billion and think, yeah, right. That's the problem. So in a case like that, if everything in his account is legit, and not legit, but I mean like not doing claims, not super specific, and then he has a campaign like that out of the blue, honestly, and that's a case where it might get disapproved, but the account's not going to get banned. But if there's other campaigns going on in that account that are specific and money related, then that could cause a banned account. So it's all this stuff is definitely compounding effect, and in this case, it's going to be a negative way, right? Just like when you're running your content amplification ads and all that stuff where you're building audiences, that's all compounding. It's helping you in the long run. The the ad, when it comes to getting your account disabled, everything that you're doing is kind of adding up. So that's another reason why you want to do more kind of engagement type of stuff, so it doesn't look like you're always pure hardcore direct response. So yeah, that's a perfect example of, like, in that situation, that would probably get overturned, right? If you had like an ad rep that you could email real quick like we do and get an answer, then they'll look at that and they're like, yeah, you're right, that's not a claim, and they'll probably reapprove it. But the problem is most people can't do that, so you got to just be careful. So yeah, okay, let's hit on one thing that Ralph mentioned too that I want to hit on a little bit more. So like Arjun mentioned this, he goes, and Ralph was talking about congruency, right? And not like, I'm not sure what the word is, I can't remember now, but like if you have like a play button, that's obvious, but still there's a lot of times where people make it, or no, not even a play button, but if it says, watch this video, how we show you whatever, and then they click it and they land on the landing page and they have to opt in to watch the video. They hate that kind of stuff. So you're telling them what the offer is, but really that's not what they're getting on the landing page. If you said opt in to watch a video on your ad, you'd be okay. But don't say watch a video or something where they can't watch it unless they opt in. That's the kind of stuff that they hate.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. It's funny because I have a screen open right now, and Jenny's probably laughing because I'm behind on writing this ad copy. But we're trying to get people to register for a webinar. So, and the webinar is all about this formula for making money. It's not you probably recognize who it is, but anyway, it's a very well-known business coach, and the challenge is how do we make it so that it's not too hyped up, but also so that they know that when they click, they're not going to be surprised. So register for this webinar, register for this free webinar. I think you actually click here to register, or reserve your spot now, click here. It tells them the action, that's your call to action, but it also informs them, oh, okay, when I click this thing, I'm going to have to do something else. So that is actually important. If I was doing this, I said, get it free here, that's actually not true, because you don't get it free here. They have to click the ad, go to the landing page, enter their name and email, wait 4 days, and then watch the webinar. So get it now or get it here is actually not true. So we're going to avoid that ad copy as much as we possibly can, because you have to think about it that way. Am I writing ad copy that is actually 100% truthful and congruent with what it is that I'm going to deliver? And this is challenging, because I think we all struggle with it. So, but if that makes sense, that's actually a big sort of part to this whole thing, and that's something that keeps coming up over and over and over again in conversations, is make sure that what you tell them in the ad, you deliver on the landing page, and there's no surprises. And that'll actually might not end up in as many clicks and as high a click-through rate, but it'll end up in, less immediate backclicks. Why do people click so much on ungated content? If you say blog post in brackets, they know it's a blog post. They know, oh, I'm going to get that thing for free. We see 9-cent clicks, 3-cent clicks, 17-cent clicks, 11-cent clicks, in lots of different spaces, competitive spaces, because people know that if I'm safe. If I click on that, I will actually get the thing. So it's not like they're going to ask me something like I need to enter my name and email address. So that's why we suggest using ungated content, because you get higher click-through rates, you get low cost per click. So if you are going for a lead magnet, try to keep everything congruent. You don't have to say enter your name and email address on the next page to get this thing. You could do that, but I think that's probably a little bit too much. So register for free here. Click here to register. So you're telling them what to expect. And I think that's a big, big, big point. And I've seen ads disapproved and accounts disabled just because of that issue itself.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
I haven't seen it done on Facebook, but I did have a client's account. They had on their website 120% guaranteed. And AdWords said, what the hell does that mean? When you refund somebody, do you give them an extra 20%? Because that's what it sounds like to us, and we don't think you do that. So they shut down their account until that was removed. So some things that you think just seem obvious that it's, nobody probably assumed if they asked for a refund that the 120% guarantee meant that they were going to get extra money if they got refunded.
Right.
Nobody complained about it. But when they see those kind of things, it's not truthful.
Yeah.
Definitely, that one surprised me. We could not figure out why that account got banned for a while. And it was just one little banner on there, 120% guaranteed.
Yeah, crazy. Okay. Let's see here.
Do you want to just go through the checklist step by step, or just, I mean,
Yeah.
those are sort of the broad ideas, which I think are hopefully helpful to people, because it's still vague. It's still vague to us. I mean, I think let's call it what it is. We don't know exactly, and Arjun doesn't know exactly either. He's on the inside.
Exactly.
So he was actually going to send me a list of all the landing pages that were Facebook friendly. I haven't seen that from. We'll hit him up on that tomorrow. He did promise that 2
really?
days ago. Yeah. Wouldn't that be quite a list to get?
Yeah. I wonder what the unfriendly one is.
Oh, God. Well, the one that I sent him was unfriendly, actually.
All right. Let's see here. Structure. Let's just start. Number one, use Business Manager. There is a video that, you know what, we have not added this into the members area. I posted it in the group a few times. If you're not using Business Manager yet, I'm going to put this on my list here to add to the members area in this new section that we're adding for setup stuff. So, but it is right here. Where's it at? I swear I thought that it was like right here, but maybe not. I'll find it in a second here. Oh no, I know where it's at. It's in the F. Frank Kern one. Okay, right here. Okay, so I'm gonna put this. This is a video that shows you how to add basically an account to your Business Manager or add a client's account, and that's how you do it basically, and that should help. We have another one in there how to do it in the members area. We actually do have that, but this one here is a little bit more updated, and it shows you how to like add a Facebook page, add an ad account. It's especially it's just watch that if you're in the one in the members area. So, but you need to use Business Manager. If you're not using it yet, you're just logging in from Facebook. Just do it. Go through it. Once you start using it, you'll be glad you did. Do not log in from your account from multiple locations with different IPs. This one here this one here probably isn't as much of an issue unless it's like overseas. And if it's overseas and you're logging in or somebody else is, then that can trigger a fraud. And then sometimes that can trigger a manual review. And so I've seen people's ads account get shut down for that. But normally you're okay with logging in. I mean, I was logged into some client's account couple days ago from my computer. It didn't cause an issue. I had like 3 different accounts I was logged into with 3 different browsers. I had 3 different Facebook accounts with 3 different browsers I was logged into all at the same time, and there's no issue. So just trying to.
I think it's especially for the ones that I know of that have had the fraud issue is when all of a sudden it's like people are logging in from the Philippines. So if you have VAs that are overseas, you definitely don't want them logging in to the account.
Yes, why you want to use Business Manager. Yeah, that's the one it'll probably that's like really common. It's almost like guaranteed for your account to get triggered there.
But that's like an automatic fraud shutdown that they shut you down because they think there's some fraud going on.
Yeah, a bunch of people just give their VAs their own username and password instead of making them managers of the account.
Right. Okay, so ensure your account is seasoned or warmed up. So establish a positive history of good standing and ad spend with Facebook. This is running light campaigns, content amplification. Once in a while, if you have a post that you post on your page, like an image and maybe an inspiring message, and a lot of people like it, you can amplify that, right? Put some money behind it. Try to have really highly engaging stuff that does not feel like you're selling or offering something, and that will help get more history into your account, and that will help you for other campaigns that might be more aggressive. So, let's see here. Yeah, this is a big one here, I think. Clean up your account. So, delete any ads that have been disapproved. If you have an account sometimes where an ad campaign was running, even if it was something that was running 6 months or a year ago, and it never got disapproved, but was like it had claims and had stuff that we could do like 18 months ago, I would delete that from your account. Right? That's like what happened to Perry. So
Yeah. Yep.
definitely, and well, probably because those got turned on is what really screwed that up, I think. But basically, delete anything like that, and that will help you for if your account does get like manually reviewed. You know what I mean? So. So position your ad compliantly. That's a new word, right?
I made that one up.
That's a Ralph word. I like it. Compliant. We should make like a webinar revolved around compliantly running campaigns.
Yeah, I like that.
Let's see here. I would say that all of this stuff right here is a lot of what we talked about, right, at the beginning of this. And just go through this and look through it. Just Ralph suggests this all the time. Go through and read the Facebook terms once a week. Molly does too from Digital Marketer. That's going to help you with a lot, and you can actually, it'll tell you if they don't like your industry that you're in. So you can check your negative feedback inside the campaign. Okay, just like you can look at your relevance score, you can go into your reporting and look at your negative feedback level. So we talked about intentions, no link bait, no fear mongering, overlapping hype. We talked about that. No claims, unrelated missing images, no illegal ad components. Okay, like let's see here. And then just be very clear on your landing page, right? Clear intentions. I think having the reputable business elements is huge. Like Digital Marketers talked about how they've now added not a contact us. Wait, maybe was it contact us they added to some of their landing pages in addition to the
They added phone number, address,
yep.
and main website URL, all that kind of stuff. And they've been doing that for quite some time. So yeah, I mean, the more information you can put on there that makes you look like you are a legitimate business, the better. I think overall, and we were actually kind of zooing on Frank about this when we were with him last week, is that you need a website that actually has content and is not like on a subdomain, and the more reputable you can make your site look, the better, like with lots of content. I mean, look at Digital Marketer. There's thousands and thousands of pages of content. Bigger Pockets is another one in the real estate space. I mean, just gazillions of pieces of content. So I mean, that takes a lot of time, obviously, to do it. You don't have to go to that extreme, but make your site look really reputable and link back to it put all your business information in there. Put your phone number in there. Put your suite number, whatever it is, your P.O. box number, whatever it happens to be. Put your business name with, the LLC or the, Inc. at the end of it. Lend an air of legitimacy to your ads, that you're not some fly-by-night organization that's just on there to run, stuff off a lead page's subdomain. In Frank's case, he's running it off an unbalanced subdomain. We're like, dude, you gotta get a real URL. So, but he was, that's what we wanted to tell him, that because that's obviously something that Facebook does look at. Even though he's Frank Kern to us, Facebook looks at that and says this does not look legit, even though he's very legit. So get yourself a real website with a good theme. Don't use the standard theme from WordPress on there. These guys will look at all that. They are looking at everything. So that part of this checklist is really all about legitimacy, and I think it's really, really important. And I think even Ryan Dice said that when we were talking to him last week. He said that now we have it. Nobody ever calls the phone number. Is it he that said that?
Yeah.
It's like we put the phone number on there.
Yep.
So do everything you can. So I give people like a little footer, like a little template footer, and then I just say, just put this in, plug this in, and then it looks like you're the real deal, because you are the real deal. You just have to show Facebook that you are.
Right, because a lot of times we try to get rid of all that stuff because we don't want distractions, because we want higher conversion rates. So everybody has most all the stuff on their main websites probably, but it's the landing pages where it's they want you to have this stuff on. So no trapping mechanisms, right? Let's touch on this though. So landing pages cannot have pop-ups, popovers, pop-unders, or auto-playing video or audio, and should give people more than one option to click on. Can you touch on the pop-ups that we can have?
Yeah, there's certain types called exit intent pop-ups, which you can actually have, and those include opt-in monster, Optimunk. Let me look at my list here. I think there's 4 of them that I know. Jenny, you might be able to rattle them off the top of your head.
We use opt-in monster.
Yeah, we don't have to give there's a lot of different ways to create them, but the actual
I think
the difference
there's a fairly short list of Facebook approved pops though, and I know opt-in monster is one of them, so that's the one that we use whenever we have opt-in pops.
Yeah.
They all have different functionality where you can do like 5 different types. Some of them have exit intent, some of them it's timed, some of them it just happens as soon as you land on the page. And a lot of those have like 5, they have different ways you can use them. So what's the actual rule on what we can use out of those functions?
As long as it does not hinder the movement of it's not a trapping mechanism.
Okay.
I have to opt in to be able to back click. Exit intent is basically you're either on there for a timed period of time, or you hover up over your browser and then it appears.
And those are okay.
Those are okay.
Yep.
Those are fine, because you can still click the back click. You can still click the back click button with those, and then they disappear. So just look up exit intent pop-ups, and those are the ones that are okay. So,
cool.
Facebook might change that at some point, but as of right now, they're perfectly fine.
Okay, so the next one is direct relation. We talked about this already a little bit. Landing pages must clearly and accurately reflect the product or service being promoted in your ad, and must be directly related to the ad headline and description. Not only will this increase your conversion rates, the congruency will also allow for a more user-friendly experience. So they don't want you tricking people, basically telling them one thing and then they see something else, and that's going to help you with your conversions as well. So non-affiliation. So adding a disclaimer type note in the footer of every landing page that states that this page is not affiliated with Facebook, for example. I'm just going to keep the same video and just put a little pop-up right in front of the video. Or maybe I'll just add a capital F in there. How cool. That's what I should do. So it looks like a different cover.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe I will do that. That's not a bad idea. just change the image on the actual Facebook book. Yeah. For all my like previews, right? So, yeah, okay, sweet. This webinar, I knew there was a reason for this webinar. Come
Good.
up with an idea. Now I don't have to take out.
Rename it though. Rename the file when you do that.
Yeah, no, for the landing pages. And they're talking about on the video though. Jenny, you missed that part. Well, no, no, you didn't. Were you on when I showed the video? You were on.
Yeah, no, but I was gonna say if you change the book in the video, make sure you rename the video. And when you upload it again, so it's
you're right. The video to Facebook. Totally, good call. Make sure it's a different name so they don't like just automatically trigger disapproval.
Yep.
Yeah, totally. Okay, I thought you meant the video file itself or the image file, so that because they can see that if it was on a landing page, they can see the name of that image in the metadata. But okay, so that's the end of the checklist. I'm gonna put it in the chat right now while we're talking. And you guys see any questions in there that are relevant? Let's see here. All right. Did you already put it in there? Oh no, that's the video I put in there. Never mind. All right. Hello? Are you there? Are you guys there? I didn't lose you guys, did I?
Nope, we're here.
Okay, good. Okay, so
We're here.
cool. Questions. We might have answered a lot of them actually, because is it safe to assume that if an ad has a high relevance score, is it okay? The reason I ask is because I posted in the Facebook group as well, but my ad refers to the user using you in ad copy, which I now know you can't do, but my ad has a high relevance score. Okay. Really good question, Lana. It's okay to use the word you in your ad copy. It's the way you're using the word you which is the issue, right? So if you use the word you that says something like, do you have high blood pressure? Then that is against policy. You can't call someone out based on a specific, gosh, Jenny, what's the word? Ralph, what
you don't want to comment on any specific characteristic like whether it's a disease or like certainly medical type stuff. You've got to be really careful. I always do. So I do run ads for kind of medical type stuff, and I always put everything in the third person. So I never go, have you taken this drug? It would just be, alert for people that have taken this. There's a really bad side effect or something like that. So you're not gonna if clicking on the ad essentially admits something about them, then it's against policy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Like, for all, we want you who have bad credit, click this ad, and then you click it, that's going to be against policy.
Or if you say, like you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now.
Engineers like you, then they know they're an engineer.
Yeah, and that creeps people out, that knowing, even if it's something positive, like knowing your name or something like that, even if it's something positive, calling them out, that Facebook knows people. A lot of the people that are very privacy driven, they hate, and it just stirs up a lot of controversy with Facebook in general. So they don't want the end user to know almost how well their targeting works,
Right.
They don't want us to flaunt it, So that's part of it. Now, if you're using the word you, like, did you know that these 3 foods cause high blood pressure? And these 3 quote unquote healthy foods actually cause high blood pressure. You know what I mean? That's totally fine. Because you're not saying, do you have high blood pressure? Did you know? It's fine. So it's calling people out. Now, in your ad, you might have something that's officially against policy, but they didn't catch it. So of course it's going to have high relative score because it's like probably a good ad. It's probably targeted really well, and if you say something like that, those ads usually work, but they don't want you using them. You know what I mean? So just because it's working right now doesn't mean it's not against policy, because this is the kind of stuff that can easily get slipped by. So, yep. So, oh, I know. Okay, so we got 2 people in here that have asked about their account being shut down. So, false positive and turn the account back on. Oh, okay. Bill says, I had my account shut down for no apparent reason, and when I asked my contact in their support, she looked at it and said it was a false positive and turned the account back on. Ever heard of that? If I didn't have a person to email directly, that would I have been screwed because they have told me that I was banned forever. Absolutely. I've heard of that in multiple cases. Actually, it's called they make a ton of mistakes, which sucks. And basically, we've seen definitely people saying, "Oh, your account should not have got banned. This blah 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 blah." So that's just part of human error. The other question, we do have somebody that said she's got her account shut down, and I think, and Arjun even mentioned this. He goes, if you get your account banned, you can always create a new one, but you got to start all over. And like he said that, I was like, whoa, I didn't think you could do that. I thought they didn't want you creating a new one. I guess when you think about it, people can have different businesses and stuff like that. It's not like they're creating a new personal profile. But he said that they can always create a new one, but then you got to start all over again. More than that, I mean, it's definitely looking for like the same account, and they'll notice like your IP address. And a lot of times, if you do start a new account, you'll have issues, especially if there's any like the URLs red flagged and stuff. However,
and the credit card number.
Yeah, I think the credit card number is big. So, I guess the accounts that we've started back up again and are still running, we used a different credit card. So if you have to get one in like somebody in your family or team's name, just you can still use your same business, just put it in somebody else's name, and then basically create a new business manager and a new account. And usually you're going to be okay with your IP address. I think that's what we've seen so far. Usually you're going to be okay with the Facebook page. We've never seen that being an issue. And URL, it depends. We don't know. For some cases, we just decided we're never going to use that URL again because we're worried, so we just didn't use it. I don't know for sure what the deal is on that. What do you guys think?
I think it depends if the domain is the reason why the account's getting shut down, then absolutely. Because I know, I've definitely seen that it appears like they do blacklist certain domains, like once it's gotten flagged. So you'll get instant rejection on ads going to that domain.
Okay.
Even if the ad is clean, they'll flag it.
Yeah, once they've flagged a domain, it's kind of there's not much. You basically need to change the domain that it's on.
All right, so we've got one here.
Ilana was actually asking about you calling out because her ad she posted in the group was talking about getting your book published. So it was like, is she actually calling out that they have a book?
Oh man, yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one there. I don't think that's going to be much of an issue.
Yeah, it's not like.
I wouldn't worry about that one.
I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah.
It's not a medical condition. I mean, unless, writing a book is a medical condition.
Well,
I know it's like childbirth for a lot of people, but I mean, I think you just got to stay away from it with relation to body, specific parts of the body, medical conditions,
financial,
personal characteristics. Yeah, I mean, they don't really specifically state it, although in the policy, let me just pull up the policy, they actually do kind of say it. You might want to actually put that screen up there, Keith, just to show everybody, because this is the one, and also show that it was last updated today. Oh, yesterday. So it's like they're constantly changing this thing. I'm serious. You really should be looking at it. once a week. I mean, keep it in your favorites. I mean, it's not like some drudgery thing that you got to do. Just like if you're running ads for your business and making money through advertising on Facebook, you should know what the terms are because they are changing without telling you. They changed them yesterday. Can you show that screenshot? That's actually
Oh yeah, which one?
great for these guys to see.
Which one?
Yeah, for
How
some
do I
reason I can't find it now.
Policies/ads. Facebook.com/policies/ads.
Yeah.
Or there's
Oh,
another
you mean
one. There's two.
I was
Actually.
up. I was hopped up for a second. Facebook policy. Is that what we're looking for?
Yeah.
All right. I'll just put it in the chat.
Policies and policy, but
Open. Give it to everybody.
Yeah. So.
I just put it in the chat for everybody so
Yeah,
you can
that's
actually
great.
see it.
all right. Let's see here.
I use this one too. I'll put it in the chat too. Because they both cover a couple of different things.
Wow. So Andrew, so you have no way to contact support, and you had a business account get shut down. You mean like a business manager? Can't even access any of the 7 accounts and no option to email or chat. I had a large page with 40,000 fans. Now it's gone with no admin access. Give me no reason, no response. That's not very common. I've seen a couple cases of that, heard a couple cases of that. That's what happened with back when Dice and those guys were talking about the software, right? When they had the audience builder software.
Yeah.
They had all their personal accounts, everything, just like the other person that we know had his personal account shut down, all their ad accounts. And if that happens, you're like, that's a tough one there.
But they
You're
should
moving to
send you an
AdWords.
email.
Yeah, I don't know. Usually that's a bigger deal. Like if they're shutting your personal account down completely, I don't know what industry that you're in. The only way you're going to be able to get back up, that's a tough one. And I don't know what industry, I guess. What industry are you in? It was compliant? Wow. It was your business account. Yeah.
Check your spam. There has to be an email somewhere.
DIY, really? What the heck? Niche website. That doesn't seem right at all. It's all page post engagement ads, he said. That's really weird, actually. I wonder.
Is that one where there's a ton of AdSense on it trying to get, click money? Because I think they've kind of indicated they don't really like that for like Facebook in general.
Well, advertising arbitrage. I mean, it definitely. I mean, if you can get super click links or super cheap clicks, then it could be construed as arbitrage.
Yeah, he only has 2 AdSense spots, he said.
Okay.
Was it link bait, all the posts? I mean,
No, native ads.
no
That's a
native.
tough one. I'm trying to think. No Facebook. So is there any admin that has access to that page still? Because that's the tough part. We could maybe down the road sometime. Yeah, I don't know. We could maybe ask Arjun, tell him we have a student that had a page that disappeared.
You can always go to facebook.com/support, and there's your personal support inbox. Try contacting them there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. How long has it been?
Oh, okay.
That's a tough one. Well, we're gonna have to move on, but maybe reach out through Facebook, and we can try to. That's a tough one. See what we can do. But all right, we're up on the hour now too, so I think we've covered it. This is we've covered a lot for this topic. So Thanks. You guys have any other questions or any other things that you guys want to hit on? Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good. Definitely listen to the podcast from last week. Molly brings up a bunch of other things that we probably didn't mention here. That's a pretty good episode, just
Absolutely.
to reiterate a lot of these basic concepts. So
yeah, I'll put it in the link real quick if you don't already have it. Listen to the very most recent episode to the podcast for sure. That's exactly what we cover, like you said. Molly definitely. I'm in like the music section, so it's not gonna like pull it up. Jeez. Podcast. There we go.
Well, it's undominated, isn't it?
Yeah, it totally is. But I was just gonna throw it in the chat real quick, but I have it now. Just copy the link. So there's the link, just in case you don't have it. Most people on here probably already listened to it. Hopefully, if you don't, definitely go back and listen to all episodes. Other than that, bring your questions to the Facebook group. Get in and go through, get into the Facebook blueprint. Make sure if you've seen any trainings in there, checklists, guides, stuff like that you haven't kind of gotten into, make sure to check them out. And we will talk to you soon. All right. Onward and upward, and everybody have a great weekend. Bye. Thanks, guys, for coming on.
Bye.